Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Dagah, aka RedRobe Productions. So, this week I wanted to share an interview that I did recently with some people that I know. It's actually a media company in the Caribbean from my country, and I did an interview with them recently, and I don't think I posted any videos in about maybe 2 weeks. So you know, it's been really busy. Honestly, YouTube is a very hard job. YouTubers notice, so it's tough. So what I wanted to do, I chopped a little bit of the interview for you, and I wanted to share it with you, and hopefully you can watch it and enjoy it. So please check out this interview right now.
Wanted to hear me do something different. He wanted to hear me on some soca beats. He wanted to hear me do a different type of genre. He wanted to hear me sing more because he knew I could sing a little bit. So he wanted to hear me sing more. So I went with the idea because at the time I was stuck. I think this was like 2015, just after the Rick. The only thing I'd done from that time was Rick Ross concert, and after the Rick Ross concert, I was just not doing much. I was just kind of stuck, and he came with the idea. We was hanging out. He started playing beats, and I was like, "Well, I know I'm a rapper, but I know I can do this because I used to do it long time ago when I used to be in the band with my cousins. We had a band when we were teenagers, so it was always there. It wasn't the choice of music that I chose to represent myself. But once the homeboy iBlaze started playing beats and started really getting me into it, I definitely swayed towards making some soca music, some EDM, and some different, reggae style songs, which kind of like was really good because it helped me to expand my horizon and it helped me as an artist to be more versatile than to just get stuck in the box of rap.
You also competed in the local Soca Monarch competition.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, man, that was fun. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like I did it for the money. Yeah, I'm giving 100 with you. I did it for the money because, like artists don't make a lot of money in St. Kitts, man. Artists don't make a lot of money, and like I was doing the cover band scene. I was on the cover band scene with my homeboy. I believe he had brought me on the cover band scene to do some work with royalties band, and
Hmm.
man, them guys don't get paid much, man. Them guys don't make a lot of money. So, like I was looking for something else that I can do, and I saw that as an opportunity to jump in. And the one thing I learned from being on that is that there are some monsters in there in that territory that you don't want to mess with. There's some people that's in that genre that just really good at it. So once I switched over and tried to do that, I definitely recognize who the champions was in that area of music because those guys were tough. And they really showed me that, you might be a good rapper, but this is our scene.
You mentioned the fact that you had been involved in the cover band scene in St. Kitts and Nevis, and you spoke about the need to be involved with Soca Monarch just to be paid for your talent. Tell us what you feel needs to be done, especially for the younger artists who are just coming on the scene and need that push, not just to promote the culture of the country, but also to make it on the international scene.
Well, the artist is they got the opportunity to be on a stage that's well put together and stuff. So you got the lighting, you got the stage, you got the opportunity to show people your talent, and that's a good thing. But that's just not enough because at the end of the day, like that's only people from our country, and sometimes, like from my experience, when I was doing the Soca Monarch, I didn't see a big crowd. I didn't see a lot of people. You know what I mean? I didn't see like thousands of people cheering and stuff. It was a
Hmm.
small crowd, so it's not much of exposure. It's not much exposure there. But the opportunity I say is to make some money for yourself, to invest in yourself. So that's what I was doing when I was doing Soca Monarch and stuff. I was taking the money and investing it back into my career. I was going and buying studio equipment. I was saving money to go and get a visa. I was doing things that's gonna lead up to the big moment. So that's what the younger artists got to do. The younger artists got to like just take whatever they're making, whatever little opportunity that they have, and use that to propel them to go where they want to go. Because we only a small country, and Like when you're all the way out here, you really see how small your country is. You know what I mean? You really see how small your country is, and how much we're really fighting in the world for some kind of attention for the rest of the world to say, look at this little country, man. They got talent. These kids can sing. These kids, you know what I mean? So it's hard for us to actually make an impact in the world. So we ourselves gotta like put the little tiny work in to help ourselves. Like we cannot just always depend on the government or anybody to propel our careers. We gotta put the work in for ourselves. We gotta invest in ourselves. So younger artists, take whatever little money you're making. If you're gonna do the Soca Monarch, take that money and invest it in your career, because nobody is gonna save us.
We are now seeing artists from St. Kitts and Nevis, small St. Kitts and Nevis, such as Byron
Yeah,
Massia, really mashing up the place, not just
of
in the
course.
region, but worldwide. What do you think attributed to that kind of success?
Well, I know Byron personally. Like, he was around me, before he really took off, like back in like, 2016, 2017, those times. He was around me. I mean, like if I was a big record label and I had the type of money that he needed, I could have signed him and put him out. But I wasn't in that position at all. But just to see him from our country, our little country, doing all that damage in the world, that goes to show the world that we got something to say, that we got something to offer the world. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had the number one song in dancehall, the number one song in dancehall, and big dancehall artist was remixing his record. So that means that he's making such an impact that the big OGs of dancehall are starting to recognize him, and that's like crazy, crazy. I mean, I even saw a debate. People were saying whether he's from Saint Kitts or Jamaica and all that,
Yes.
just because how good he's doing. They're like, oh, they can't believe like, oh, this little guy from that little country doing this well. Hey, hey, we do have talent. We have those. There's a few talent in Saint Kitts that that got that special thing that could run the world, but it's just that they're not in the position yet. They don't have the kind of like support that they need. But Byron Messiah was always a kid that looked like he had a lot of like drive. I can remember when I did a couple of tracks with him, and he didn't, he was giving me the flippy floppy runaround. But when he showed up to do those tracks in the studio, this dude just like was fire, and I was like, whoa, this kid is different. So I knew he was gonna blow up. I knew he was gonna be big. I just knew it. I knew he was gonna be big.
You mentioned that St. Kitts and Nevis has other talented young people. What do you think is
Yeah.
necessary to give them that push? Do you think that Byron has actually paved the way for them
Hey,
to become successful?
I think so. I think what Byron is doing right now is opening up the door for St. Kitts artists to show them that, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm signed to a major record label. I'm rubbing shoulders with the elite of the music industry. You guys out there can do it too. You guys can be a big worldwide famous act. And that's what he's doing right now. He's showing that. He's showing us, which is something that I've always believed. I always believed that we could do great. It's just that we're small and nobody know about us. But I always believed that we could do great. That's why I've always carried myself in a certain way. That's why I've always presented myself in a certain way, so the rest of the world could notice me. They could notice, hey, he's from the island, but he don't look like he's from the island though. He look like he's from out here. But the thing is, like I always presented professionalism, and I always presented international lyrics and international music, because I thought that that was the best way that I could get their attention, to bring them professionalism. And we seen that with Byron. Byron has always worked hard. Byron was always putting out records like all the time. Byron was always just really going hard. So him getting to where he's at right now, he really deserve it.
What about you, Dagger? You spoke about providing people with that professional look. You're speaking to us now from a studio, so it says to me that you're still working. Tell us about what you are up to these days.
Yeah, I never stopped working. When I left Sync, it's in 2019. Like I definitely did go under the radar for a little bit, because I had moved down south. I moved down south I was living in Baton Rouge for like a year, and I was really on the low. And I had a lot of good times down there. I met a lot of good people in the South, and also I did a lot of soul searching. I really started really digging deep because I wanted to really know, should I continue doing music? Should I continue doing this? I got a call from a friend and he said, man, don't ever stop doing what you do, dude. Like, this is you. Like, I could never see Dagah without doing music and just being creative and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. You're right. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing then. So after that, I started doing some minor recordings and stuff just to get myself back into motion again. And I was like, I didn't rap. I didn't do rap music 2 years. I didn't do rap music, not even 2 years, maybe 4 years. Because after I started working with iBlaze, they were really trying to push me away from rap. They was like, "Yo, you gotta stop rapping." I was like, "Why? Like, I love to rap, dude." And then he was like, "You gotta quit." And I was like, "Nah, man." And then I didn't do rap from like maybe 2017, 2018, 2019. Let's think it's 2019. Wasn't doing any rap. But when I came back to New York, that's when I was like, yo, this is rap country. This is where rap lives. And that's what really brought me back in the game. And I was like, I don't want to come back in the game like just what I was. So I was like, what can I do to really be different? What can I do to be unique? So I started producing. I started producing my own beats. I started making my own beats and stuff. I started, doing production courses and stuff to learn how to produce. Because think about it, like for my whole time doing music, I never know how to make a beat. I never, I never know how to make a beat at all. I just know when a beat sound good. When a beat sound good, I'm like, yeah, that beat right there, I want it. But what I started doing was making my own beat, creating my own sound. So that's been my quest for the last 2 years, creating my own sound, creating my own beat. I finally got to the point where I could release an album. So I had the time, the space, and the money. So I was like, okay, cool. I invested in a studio and I invested in a few things. After I started making a little money here and there, invested in a few things, and I finally got to the point where I could put this album out because I'm able to produce it, and I got the studio to record it. I got a little bit of money to push it, so that's what I did. I just like invested in the studio and I put the album together, and I changed my name around a little bit because I wanted to be more of a producer now.
Mm-hmm.
So my album is called my production name is RedRobe. It's
Uh-huh.
RedRobe Production. The album is called RedRobe Phoenix. Now the concept of the album is basically a phoenix, a bird. If you know
Mm-hmm.
about the phoenix bird, it burns up and it regenerates and it starts a new life,
Yes.
right? So that was right. So that was the whole concept of the album. Was like I've burnt out. I've burnt out all what I used to do, and now I'm regenerating as a new person, a new vibes, a whole new energy, which is Red Rope's production. And yeah, that's how it's been going. It's been going really well. The album, to say like I'm not like some like that's a new name. People know me as Dagah. So if anybody was gonna come check for me, they'll come check for me as Dagah. And everybody from Insane Kids and the Caribbean or whatever that know me. But this is a new name, Red Robe, and nobody know about this name. Nobody ever hear about it. Like nobody hear about that artist. And I put the album out, and I was just surprised how well it's doing. You know what I mean? Like I'm surprised. Like it's actually streaming really well on all streaming platforms. It's doing well on YouTube. It's like whoa, and that's why I was like, nah, I can't quit music. I gotta keep doing
Mm-hmm.
music. Nah, I ain't quitting. So that whole Red Rope thing brought a whole new energy. Like I'm regenerated. I'm ready to go again.
So what's next for Red Robe Productions?
I'm working on another Phoenix. I'm trying to do Phoenix 2. It's gonna be the first one was called Phoenix, Chapter 1, The Flight, which was just the beginning of the journey. Because it's gonna be a whole journey. It's gonna be Phoenix 1, Phoenix, and this might be the last music run that I ever make. So this might be Phoenix 1, Phoenix 2, Phoenix 3, Phoenix 4, maybe Phoenix 5, maybe. But Phoenix 1, Phoenix 2, Phoenix 3, and Phoenix 4, then I might tap out and be like, yeah, I've done enough. I've done my shit. Like, it's time for me to go.
I know that.
I try to put some, and then maybe put some, and maybe try to get some younger talent out. You know what I mean? Because I
Mm-hmm.
released my album on my own record label, my own imprint, which is BK Records. And I'm hoping that maybe I could do some distribution to a major label someday, and maybe bring some younger talent on and put them on to do their thing. Because I mean honestly, like for me personally, like I don't really got to do any music. You know what I mean? I could easily just run my brands, run my website, do other business ventures that I got going on, and just become a better investor, learn how to really build wealth, and just live my life. Like, I don't really got to do any music, but it's a passion and it's a love for it. So I just keep doing it.
Okay. Any hopes to come back to the Caribbean anytime soon?
I would love to definitely come back one day. Not right now because there's not nothing important for me to come back right now for. Like, I could understand Byron Massia coming back because he's getting a big gig. You know what I mean? He's getting a big gig on the St. Kitts Music Festival, so he's coming back to do his show, which is good. If I was coming back to do a show, yeah, I'll come back and do a show.
So that was the interview. It got chopped off. It was done online, so there was a couple of delays. There was a couple of technical difficulties here and there with the interview, but it was a good interview, and I was happy to really give them an update on what's going on with me, and my feelings on what's going on right now in music and what's going on with the artists from our country, and just a little rundown on my Soca Monarch stuff and all that. So I hope you enjoyed the interview. I thought it was a really good interview and informative interview. So it's your boy Dagah, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Peace. One love.